EA Sports has released its top 100 players for college football 25 as the release draws near. We now know some of the ratings of the players that we will play with, including the top quarterbacks in college football in the video game. And we're going to look at the quarterback specifically. Maybe we'll do a couple other positions if you really want to see who compares to who. But you're looking at quarterback position being one of the most important in college football. Wow. When you look at who's first, the fact that Shedeur Sanders is the top ranked quarterback in college football says a lot. I think that EA did a good job overall of certain players or figuring out how to rank certain players and where to put them. And I think that some of it was maybe to draw excitement. And part of their job is to create that excitement surrounding the game. But at the same time, I think that it's still going to be full of potential controversy based on some of the players that you're going to see here. Shedeur being first could be one of them. I think a lot of people expect him to be a first round draft pick when it's all said and done. But I think there's also people that don't think that he's the best quarterback in college football. Now, granted, Carson Beck is ranked 93 overall, like Shedeur is. So in many cases, they're essentially the same rating. They're just one different in terms of rank. And then you go into Quinn Ewers and Dylan Gabriel. Ewers obviously being a cover athlete. I'm kind of surprised that he wasn't the top quarterback, but not that the cover athlete has to be a top quarterback, but and he's top three. But I'm surprised that he's not higher on that list. Dylan Gabriel comes in next at a 92. That shouldn't be too surprising there. Very talented quarterback. Jalen Milroe will probably be one of the more fun players to play with in the game. A dual threat that can do a lot of exciting things, very fast, good arm strength. So he is definitely someone that you need to keep an eye on. Jackson Dart, I think a lot of people thought would be higher, but 90 overall there. Jalen Daniels, kind of surprising at a 90. If he stays healthy, that rating is definitely a good one. But if he's not able to stay healthy, that's where things could be a little bit more intriguing, a little bit more uncertain, if you will. Payne Salter, I think, is better than a few of these quarterbacks here. So that was definitely interesting to see him not as high or higher on this list. And then when you go into who's left out, now, again, this is kind of a personal preference, if you will, because a lot of people have opinions. A lot of people have certain teams they cheer for. So it's not necessarily indicative of actual rating or if it's just kind of bias. But that being said, I think that there's some other players that maybe missed. I know a lot of people are really excited about what Brady Cook can do for Missouri. I don't think that he's better than any of these quarterbacks, but he is solid for Missouri. Noah Fifita is definitely someone to keep an eye on. He has Tedoroa McMillan to throw to out wide at Arizona, but he's kind of undersized and people aren't really sure what to make of him. It's a new coaching staff coming in, so we will see what happens with that. KJ Jefferson for UCF. I think that he's a good fit. As we've talked about in our deep dive series, you looked at what he's capable of doing, running the football, throwing the football. He is definitely someone that I think people will maybe say should be higher. And again, we don't know how many more 90s there are because the top 100 ended at 90, but that doesn't mean that there aren't more because you cut it off at 100 to make it an even number. And then other guys you consider, Grayson McCall coming to NC State. We'll see what he can do for the Wolfpack there. You also have Mikey Keene from Fresno State, Seth Hennigan from Memphis, Drew Aller from Penn State. That was kind of surprising that he wasn't in the top 100. Cam Rising, Garrett Nussmeyer could be one that rises up quite a bit. DJU, Will Howard, DeQuan Finn, Connor Wegman. You have a number of players that we'll see where they're rated. That's one of the things when the game actually comes out. Part of what I'm going to do is just look through who's rated what and see what I'm working with certain teams and who's going to be a really fun team to play with, who's going to be a player that's going to be a difference maker. Those are the kinds of things that we're going to look at when we finally do get the game. So I'm curious what you guys think. I'm curious to see who you think should be higher, who should be lower, whose rating doesn't match what you thought, or who has been snubbed. And then this game is going to be so exciting. I'm not going to really care who's rated what. I just want to play the game. And the fact that we have quarterbacks now, we have ratings for certain position players says a lot about the future of college football in terms of the video game and builds a lot of excitement for the future for this franchise. It's a game that we all been waiting for, and now we have some actual tangible data, some tangible uh, uh, data points that we can actually talk about and discuss and see what's going to be what. And it's really fun to see. I'm excited for the game to come out. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about it. And it's going to be a fun ride, regardless of if you're going to really dive in deep or if you're just going to be a casual gamer. College football 25 is coming back, and that's really all that matters.